speaking of games, I'd fancy just playing a little game here. We'll breeze through this section just quite quickly because there's quite a few to go through. I want to quickly discuss on the 2021 draft. Obviously, they've just finished their rookie season, coming into year two. Just going to play a quick little game of hit or miss. Going to go through each one, see what you think. Obviously, the rookie years, I think a lot of them were injured, to be fair. Most of them didn't even see the field very much. But we'll see what you think that they will be like in year two and going forward. Starting with the number one pick, it was JC Horn, 8th overall from South Carolina.
I think, would you agree he's had a standout season?
What, in his rookie season?
Yeah.
No, because he only played 3 games. But I think them 3 games he was very, very good. And I'm very excited about the future. I've heard he's been looking pretty good in preseason as well, in training camp, even though he has been a little bit cautious with an injury. But I think he's going to be a massive hit going forward. But I certainly wouldn't say he's had a breakthrough season. I think that breakthrough season's coming up.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Of the 3 games he played, he was strong in it. I like how Carolina are not rushing it with the injury because we don't want another repeat of our star running back. I always wondered about him being brought back in maybe a little bit too early and then that injury coming back and then he's gone for the season.
Yeah.
So this is what I hope with him. I hope this season he's going to just dominate. He's going to destroy the opposition.
I hope so. But yeah, last season I think it was a little bit more quantity over quality in the draft. So we've got 11 picks to get through as opposed to 6 from 2022. So we'll try and get through as quick as we can. Second round pick, wide receiver from LSU, Terence Marshall.
I'm trying to think. When was the last time I heard his name in a game? It'd be easy to say from this list, looking at it, how many of them have been active participants? You got your Chuba Hubbard, Brady Christensen, Tommy Tremble.
Yeah, that's about it, really, isn't it? Like I think most of them had injuries. Like Keith Taylor was pretty good, but because of injuries, we didn't see much of JC Horn, Terence Marshall, Davion Nixon, Deontay Brown, Shai Smith, Thomas Fletcher, or Phil Hoskins. That was 11 players, and we're barely, what did we say, 3-4 of them on a regular basis. So yeah, injuries did kind of plague the 2021 draft class. So hopefully 2022 will be their breakout seasons, such as JC Horn, such as Terence Marshall Jr., who again I've been hearing a lot of good things in training camp coming out of him. I think he's ready to make the step up. Maybe be that replacement number 2 for Robbie Anderson. There's been a lot of questions about his future coming up. So yeah, could Terence Marshall be the new wide receiver 2, if not this year, next year?
It's definitely on the cards. It's definitely that's the thing I like about it now is that they've stacked the positions now, so there are lots of options there, and they can be built up slowly, but they can also be rotated as well. I'm kind of glad that we've kind of moved away from the rotating quarterback that we had last season because it kind of confused. In a way, I think it was good in some of the games because it didn't just confuse the fans, it confused the opposition as well. And they didn't know who or what to do. Now, like you said, we've got wide receiver 1, 2, and more options being available. Hopefully we can build and make it into something dynamic, something a bit devastating.
Yeah, we've got 2 third-round picks. O-line, anywhere on the O-line, really. We'll say what his future lies in Brady Christensen and Tommy Tremble, who I thought had a pretty good rookie season. Not quite what I expected of him, but very good.
What was your when you saw the name Tremble? What were your expectations?
Well, from what I heard of him, I didn't really know too much about him from Notre Dame, but from what I heard about him, from having a look at the analysts and a few videos of him, he was very much a blocking tight end, probably ranked as the best blocking tight end in the whole entire draft. So for the third round pick, 83rd overall, I thought brilliant because O-line's not the best, so a little bit of muscle to help with Christian McCaffrey if he was going to be fit, which he wasn't really. But that's kind of what I expected of him. I thought maybe was get a little bit more out of Ian Thomas as a receiver and Tommy Tremble as a blocker, but it was the other way around, really. I think I've seen a little bit more out of Ian Thomas as a blocker, and Tommy Tremble, I know he worked hard in improving his hands as a receiver, which he needed to do. You need to be both. I think you can always say at tight ends, either a better blocker or a better receiver, but you need to be kind of 50-50, I think. I think you need to be just as good in both. And I think Tommy Tremble worked really, really hard to be a better receiver, and it did pay off. So I was quite surprised not to see him block as much as that. That's what my expectation was, really.
It was good to see. It's going back a bit, going to Olsen. Even though he was a great target to have, he did block quite a lot, and he did make holes, and he did get things moving down the field, which was good. Always good to see. Hopefully Tremble follows similar path, and we have that, like you said, like a blocker to help and get things mixed up a bit, get things changing, get the opposition guessing, and then they make mistakes, and we can take advantage of it.
Yeah, and one of them people that he might be trying to help out is the 4th round pick, Chuba Hubbard. They were seeing a lot of action last year with the absence of Christian McCaffrey. But someone who we forgot to mention as a free agent pickup is Donta Foreman. So we've got 2 very good backups, just like very different styles as well, which is good. Like Donta Foreman's a bit more of a power back. So to kind of take the load off of Christian McCaffrey, even if he is fit, rotation a little bit, just to kind of wrap McCaffrey and bubble wrap a little bit. We've got Hubbard and we've got Foreman there. So could be an interesting year. Hopefully Ben McAdoo's got some tricks up his sleeve to kind of even out the reps a little bit, just so McCaffrey doesn't break a leg in week 1.
Yeah. Oh God, don't tempt fate. But one interesting thing, my fantasy football team name, Chuba Hubbard Time Machine.
Nice, like it.
Got to keep it real.
And so most of them that we didn't really get to see through on the back end. So we'll just quickly go through the hit or miss for year 2. Where will they go? Davion Nixon, defensive tackle.
I'm going to go hit.
I do too. I think he's going to be very good. He looks very, very strong. Just needs to stay fit. One that we did mention before, Keith Taylor, pretty good rookie year for a 5th round pick.
Yeah. Like you said, 5th round, so not a huge amount of capital invested. And did he deliver in return for a 5th round pick? Yeah. Wasn't like dynamite round 1, but for a 5th round, yeah.
The next guy I was really excited about, and I thought he would have played quite a bit in his rookie season, although he didn't, mainly due to injuries. But now with the extra additions to the offensive line, didn't really get to see much of Dante Brown from Alabama, did we?
No,
I don't really know where his future lies. I know he was trying to trim some weight because he's a bloody big guy. But now with the likes of Bradley Boseman, Austin Corbett, Cade Mays, Ike Ekwonu, there's a lot of offensive linemen there. So I don't know where his future really lies. He needs to trim weight and really push to try and get into that front 5.
Do you think that extra competition now will be a benefit or a negative?
Hopefully a benefit. Hopefully it spurs him on. He obviously was a very good competitor at Alabama. But it's maybe just going to be tough for him. Like, I think it will spur him on, but just the competition in front of him, it's just going to be tough, really. So, it's one of them. It's kind of on the fence. Like, don't know how it'll benefit him going forward. But a 6th round receiver that I really liked. I thought he was a very good pickup. Seen less of him than Terence Marshall, again, because of injuries. Had a little bit of legal trouble this offseason as well. Shai Smith from South Carolina.
When you said legal trouble, I'm trying to think, which player do I know who's not had legal trouble at some point?
Like Damian Wilson did, didn't he, as well?
Like my Twitter keeps blowing up constantly with, this has happened, legal situation, what's going on here? It's just, I hope a hit. Again, like you said, I hope he's going to bounce back. The legal issues are going to be resolved, and he's going to push on forward.
Yeah, me too. I really like Shai Smith. Yeah, think for like further down the wide receiver depth chart, like he's not going to be in that top 3 as we've mentioned, but pushing in, trying to get some slots, maybe as a returner or a slot receiver. I think he can do a pretty good job. I'll quickly cover the next pick because it's a miss, and that is long snapper from Alabama, Thomas Fletcher, which was a surprise pick to say the absolute least. But he's been cut this week. JJ Johnson's obviously getting the job at long snapper, so pointless pick. Big miss.
When was the last time we had that teams were picking long snappers?
That's the Carolina Panthers for you, bro.
I know we are called the cardiac cat, and that's definitely because we're trying to work out what is going on or what. But yeah, long snapper, interesting position to pick in a draft.
Yeah, and the last one was defensive tackle Phil Hoskins from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. I'm on the fence with this one. It was a very, like you said, it's a very late round pick. Is it a lot to invest in a player? I go 50-50.
Yeah, potential future miss, but we'll see how that one goes. So that was hit or miss.